Hello, Eurovision friends. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories. We now know all the songs competing in Eurovision 2024, and that is really exciting because I feel like this is a very good year. I might be a bit brainwashed because of all the videos I've done already on these songs, but they seem to be really unique, distinct, lots more national language songs as well. So lots of things that I like personally, of course. And in this video, I want to give you my current top 37. I say current because obviously this can change. Songs can grow on me, songs can grow off me. And before doing that, I want to tell you a few things. First of all, this is my personal subjective opinion on the songs. So if a song is lower in my ranking, that doesn't mean that it's a bad song. It just means that to me personally and subjectively, it doesn't do a lot or there's something missing. And as I've said, I like unique songs. I like songs in national languages. So that might be one of the reasons why a song is a bit lower. And one of the reasons I love being a Eurovision fan is just that it has opened up my mind to new genres and new styles of music that I would never have listened to a few years ago, because you listen to these songs over and over again, you read people's opinions on these songs, and you kind of realize, oh yeah, they're right. This part of the song is really special, or this part of the song makes it really unique. And it has really opened up my mind. Like, there are songs in the top 10 right here in this video that I'm looking at and I'm kind of surprised at myself that I love these songs, because a few years ago I would never have listened to them and I would never have put them into my playlist. And this has also kind of broken me a little bit, because now I can't really listen to these mainstream English pop songs anymore that are on the radio, because I'm like, where's the Estonian and where's the traditional instrument and where's the over-the-top emotional performance? So yeah, it has kind of broken me. And so what I want for you to do, if a song you like is lower in my ranking, instead of calling me names or saying that I have no taste, that will not change my opinion. Try to change my opinion. Like, tell me why you love this song, what is special about it, and maybe that will change my mind. And that is what Eurovision is also about for me. Also, last year, this year, and in following years, this channel will follow the decision of the official governing body of the Eurovision Song Contest, which is the EBU, on which entries are part of the competition. Now let's get right to it. Here is number 37. Sorry, it's Sara Bonici and Loop. Let's start with the positives. I have seen an interview with her, and it was really her dream to go to Eurovision, and I'm so happy for her that she gets to do it. I also think that the performance, the acrobatics, the choreo is really impressive and quite hard, I think, to sing the way that she manages to sing, even though there are a few off moments doing all of these choreo moves and all of that. The problem I have with this mostly is the song. There was a revamp, but that hasn't really changed my opinion on the song. A few of the cheaper sound effects that I criticized before are now gone. They are still there, but they're a bit less noticeable. There's a bit more production on the song, but it is still lacking something that I can latch onto and that I can really fall in love with. And so that's why it's my number 37. In 36th place, I have Aiko and Pedestal. Again, this is mostly because of the performance, which was quite subpar when we talk about the vocals, when we talk about the choreo and everything that was going on, the over-the-top energy. I think they need to tune that back a little bit. There is a lot of potential for this to improve. The staging, the vocal performance, and the song itself is actually quite good. I like the message of the song. I like her vocal performance in the studio version. It is kind of catchy. It's an empowering entry musically. It's a rock song. And so if they improve the staging, I think this can actually improve, in my opinion, even more. In 35th position, going down 9 places, this is mostly because we have 9 new songs, is Windows 95 Man with No Rules. I still appreciate this entry because it made me laugh the first time I saw it. I just watched it again and it made me laugh again. This moment when the pants appear and you think he's going to put them on and he's going to fly around the arena, and then instead of doing that, there are fireworks coming out of them. That just makes me laugh every single time. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor in this performance, but the song itself has a fun poppy part that is quite catchy. But yeah, otherwise I don't really like it. And there are just other entries this year like Jos Klein or 5 Minuten en Poloop, I always have to concentrate to say that right, that are doing better what Windows 95 Man is trying to do with this song, and that's also why it's a bit lower in my ranking. Now in 34th position, I have Saba with Sand. This is an okay pop song. It's a mainstream English pop song. And if you listen to what I said at the beginning of the video, those don't really do it for me anymore. I understand that people like this. The vocal performance was a bit shaky, but they can improve on that. The staging is quite amazing. I always forget about that with the lighting and everything. But to me personally, the staging just underlines the fact that there is a bit of oomph missing in the song because the lights are really frantic and then the song is quite subdued in a way. As I've said before, I also don't really like the focus on the word sand and the repetition, and the lyrics are just a bit plain to me. Like, sand is running through my fingers, we build a castle out of sand. That's not the kind of poetic lyrics that I personally like. So that's why it's in 34th position. 33rd position, going down 5 places, but it's gone up compared to my top 29 video, is Celia Kapsis with Liar. Positive. I mean, this has grown on me because it is a really catchy song. I now realize that after watching a few of the recaps where the song gets played, and especially the catchy part of the song gets played, it is kind of stuck in my head from time to time. And I do like it more and more, I have to say. Still, it's a mainstream English pop song. And so to me personally, it's not the greatest thing in the world. I also think that the dance, the outfit, and the lyrics are a bit plain, and the video kind of reminds me of an early Britney Spears, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. I'm also a bit concerned about the fact that she's 17 and this is the kind of outfit that they chose for her. So that's why it's in 33rd position. In 32nd position, I have Isaac with Always on the Run. Now, this was one of my favorites in the German national final, but it's still very low, as you can see, going down 8 positions. I mean, this is a mainstream English radio pop song, the kind of thing that we always send and then we don't really do well. And this is just the kind of song that I talked about at the beginning as well. There's nothing unique, nothing too special about it. The main positive aspect about this is his voice and his performance chops. He really feels the song. I really like him, and I hope he has a great experience. And the voice is impressive, as I said, but the song itself is just too simple. And the chorus, these ramamamama thing, is also a bit annoying to me after a while, and so that's why it's in 32nd position. In 31st position, I have Natalia Barbu with In the Middle. I kind of like the traditional element to it in the chorus, but the song itself is a bit plain. The performance is also very static. I think they should change the staging, honestly, for this song. The vocals are a bit piercing at times, and so that's why it's my number 31. In 30th position, and this has gone down quite a bit, as you can see, 15 positions, I have Besa with now Titan. It used to be Semrendor, if I remember correctly. And that is also the main reason why it has gone down. They have done a revamp. They have switched the Albanian lyrics out for English lyrics, and that just takes away a lot of the magic that the song had before for me. I still like the chorus and the melody, but they also in the revamp kind of overproduced it a lot. I don't know why they did that. They added a beat that is really making this more and more generic. And so I'm really quite sad, actually, that they did the revamp. I'm quite impressed by her, though. She's a great performer, very charismatic, and she looks different every single time I see her. There's great styling and outfits every single time. So I'm kind of looking forward to the stage performance, but the song now has lost a lot of its magic, very unfortunately. Now, in 29th position, I have Ollie Alexander and Dizzy. If you go back to my videos in early January, you can see how excited I was that he was chosen to be the UK representative, because he's an established artist with a lot of stage presence, a good voice, a lot of experience. He's also an accomplished actor, and so I thought he would have a lot of stage presence, and he probably will on the Eurovision stage. I saw a performance on the Ant and Deck show, or whatever it's called. that was kind of a comedic performance, but I wasn't as convinced by it. And the main problem with this entry, of course, is the song, because I was a bit underwhelmed, quite underwhelmed, to be honest, to hear it. It's a very standard pop song. It's not that catchy. It's not special in many ways. It is a song that you can hear on the charts, that you can hear on the radio. So I'm not saying it's bad or that lots of people cannot like it. Just for me personally, this is not the kind of song that does it for me, so to speak. But I am really excited to see his stage performance, his presence on that stage, because I think that will be quite a thing to watch, and I think they will have an impressive staging as well. In 28th position, we have a new entry, and that's Nutsa Buzaladze with Firefighter. I have listened to the song a few times because I thought I have to give this a chance, and it is okay. It's in 28th position. The main best part about this is her vocals, her charisma really shines through in this music video. We haven't seen her perform it live, of course, but I'm not worried about that part of it. But the song, again, is quite standard, quite generic, and it's also quite repetitive, and I don't really like songs like that. In 27th position, I have Marcus and Martinez, Unforgettable, our host entry. I mean, the staging is amazing for this. There are hints of 90s culture, a bit of the Matrix, a bit of, it seems like a music video, but it also feels a little bit like Benjamin Ingrosso, which didn't quite work out with the televoters in the end. I think they should play more with the fact that they are twins. Like, you see them right at the beginning of the performance, both of them. I think it would be cool if it was first one, then the other, and then they come together or something like that. But that's just me personally. I know that a lot of people love this song. I just think it's a bit Eurovision by the numbers. It's in English. There's not that much that I can latch on to. I do like the beat. I do think it's catchy. But, in a year with so many unique entries, this isn't really doing it for me. I wish them all the best, though, and they seem really happy to be on that Eurovision stage. I think it's been a dream of them as well for a very long time. In 26th position, I have another new entry, and that is Ferry with Özüden Le Apart. I hope I pronounced that a little bit right. This is more of an atmosphere to me than a very catchy song, and that's nice. This is the first time that they sing in the national language, which is good as well. There is a Mugham singer, which adds a traditional element to it, and I really like that as well. So they are kind of combining electronic music with traditional elements, and that's very nice, but the song itself just hasn't caught my attention 100% yet. It was the last song to be released, so it might grow on me a little bit, but for now it's in 26th position for me. In 25th position, going down 6 positions, is Colleen with We Will Rave. This, of course, is a favorite for a lot of Eurovision fans, and I completely understand why. If I'm at a party, this is the kind of song I want to listen to, but I'm not always at a party, and I don't know. I mean, this is leaning into the campiness, the sort of trashiness a little bit, especially also with the music video that we've seen with a lot of guys with not a lot of clothes on, which, of course, she knows her audience, and that's fine. And it will be a fun, I think, performance to watch and a fun staging. But it's just not a song for me. The song itself sounds really 90s, really retro and nostalgic, which in a way I like, but then it's also not a song that I have listened to a lot, and that kind of tells you that something is missing to make me like the song even more. In 24th position, we have another new entry, and that is Electric Feels with One Me Kali, One Blood. When this first came out, the first time I heard it, I was not convinced by it at all. It has grown on me quite a bit. I love the vocals that are very crisp and clear. It's a very unique voice, really, and I like that a lot. I love the fact that there's a didgeridoo, even though I think it could be more prominent in the sound mix of it all. I also love the fact that we have an Aboriginal language featured in the song. One Mil Kali is in that language, and they seem to be a really interesting band. But again, there's something missing in the song that makes it 100% unique to me. And I do have it in my playlist, and I listen to it from time to time, but I also skip it sometimes because there's yeah, not something I can latch onto 100%. In 23rd position, I have Eden Golan with Hurricane. Now, the best part about this entry, I think, is Eden herself. The vocals are very impressive. She's only 20 years old, and her voice is already amazing. I can only imagine how well she will sing in 10 years' time. There's an interesting vocal tone to her voice as well. It's powerful and soft at the same time, and I really like that part. The song itself is musically quite a standard English pop ballad to me, and it's also mostly in English, and I prefer national language songs, and that's why it's in 23rd position. I do think that this will get a very good staging, though. In 22nd position, kind of similar to what I just said, another great vocal performance. He's very charismatic as a performer as well, but the song just doesn't quite do it for me. Another standard pop ballad. The lyrics are also a bit, generic to me, shallow, hollow, all of that. And I think they have to work on the staging quite a bit to make this more impactful and to make sure that they qualify. Because honestly, for me, Latvia not making it another year would be kind of heartbreaking. And you can see that the song has kind of maintained its position, so it's not gone down as much as other songs have. But something more unique would have been nice, or maybe having it in Latvian would also have helped to make it stand out a bit more. In 21st position, also kind of maintaining the position, is Bambi Thug with Doomsday Blue. I think the main reason why it hasn't gone down more is that they released a great music video for this, really impactful visually, and if they can replicate that a little bit on the stage, that will be very helpful. Of course, the only performance we had was from the Late Late Show with bad audio, bad visuals as well. Not the performance itself, but kind of the images we had were a bit shaky and everything. So if they can replicate the music video on stage, that would be great. I think it would be amazing if they could be in the outfit they have at the beginning of the music video, and then for the poppy parts have this pink outfit. But I think that is almost impossible to do. Maybe they can find someone who looks a little bit like Bambi Thug and kind of recreate the video like that. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see the staging for this one. We are now getting into the ranks where it was really, really hard for me to rank the songs because all of them are kind of unique in their own different ways. And yeah, it is just a momentary thing. Remember that. And my personal subjective opinion. I have to say that again. In 20th place, I have Megara with Once Once. They were my favorites in Benidorm last year with the great song Arcadia. Once Once doesn't quite get there for me. I still love her voice. I love their style. I think the staging we saw in San Marino is just like a very tuned down version of what we might see at Eurovision, because now they might have a bit more of a budget for that, I hope. So I'm also excited to see the performance. I love the story of the song and the message of the song, which is, if you don't like me, I will find someone else who likes me, and I'm going to go to Benidorm. And that's a message to the Spanish rock music community, who have always said that Megara aren't really rock stars because their style is not rock enough, whatever that means. I also love that they have their distinct visuals, which is black and pink. And so I'm quite excited to see this, and I can't believe that this entry is only 20th, and that tells you how strong this year is. Another one that tells you how strong this year is 19th place. I have Raven with Veronica going down 5 places. This has kind of grown off me a little bit. Do you say that? I'm not quite sure. I still love the fact that this tells the story of a woman in the Middle Ages, and kind of through that sends a message, a feminist message for our day. I also think that she is a very charismatic and engaging performer. We saw the Dora performance, the live performance, the vocals were on point, and her interactions with the camera were really, what's the word for it? Like mystical. And I think a lot of people will like that. But the song has kind of grown off me a little bit, maybe because it's a bit dissonant with the witch call, or whatever you want to call it. So it's not in my playlist anymore at the moment, but I really do appreciate the artistry and everything that went into the entry, and that's why it's my number 19. In 18th place, maintaining its position, and that's really something with all the new entries that we have, is Luna and The Tower. I said that I don't really like the vocal tone in my rating video, but now it's the thing that really makes me like this entry. It kind of makes it very distinct and stand out. It is kind of an English pop song, radio pop, so something that I shouldn't like a lot. But this one has something that I like. And every single time I see her perform at some pre-party or something, she always has incredible fashion and a very visually impactful appearance, let's say. And I do think that there's a lot of artistry in her, and she will bring that to the Eurovision stage. We saw it in the video as well, lots of symbolic things going on, and maybe she will have a tower and raise up and have the bands and everything. So I do think, and I'm kind of looking forward to the staging for this one. And the song I have not grown tired of. It's kind of catchy, and that's why it's 18th. And then in 17th position, I have Hera Björk and Scared of Heights. I think I like this song more than anyone else in the Eurovision fandom. And let me explain why that is. If you've seen my prediction video for semifinal 1, you know I like this entry because, yeah, why do I like this entry? I mean, I do think that she is an incredibly charismatic performer. She performs the heck out of this song, which is quite outdated. But it also feels very nostalgic to me personally. That might be because I'm a bit older than the average Eurovision fan, I think. At least I think that is the case. And it just feels really nostalgic for the early days of my Eurovision experience when I started watching Eurovision. There were so many songs like this in the competition. And now this year, this is the only one that kind of sounds this schlagery pop thing with a glamorous performance. And I think that's why I like it. It's catchy, kind of. I listen to the Icelandic version more than the English version, to be honest. And I also think that she's a very charismatic performer, and it seems like, you know, some soccer moms got dressed up and they're going out and having fun on that stage. A bit like I felt about Monika Linkaite, even though that was a very different song last year. And I just like it. What can I do about it? And this is my personal subjective opinion, as I said. And I do think that this will do a bit better than people are predicting, because I always see this in the last places of the rankings of people. I mean, that's their opinion, so that's fine, but I think it will do better than many people expect. In 16th position, I have Jerry Heil and Aljona with Teresa and Maria. I love the feel of the song and the way that they combine so many different genres in one song, and it doesn't feel disjointed, and it doesn't feel like they were just trying to throw the kitchen sink at us and see what sticks. Each part is good in its own way. Jerry Heil is a great performer, great vocals. Aljona is an amazing rapper, even though I'm not an expert in rap music, obviously, or an expert in most things, actually. But it just feels very natural the way she performs, and I really like that. What I do think is, or needs to happen to make this entry even better, is a better staging. But I have a lot of belief in the Ukrainians, because they always bring amazing stagings to the Eurovision stage. And I also think that they have to find a way to communicate more. It kind of feels like two amazing artists come together on that stage, but then there's not that much interaction between them. And so I hope that there can be a bit more synergy in a way. I love the chants as well in the background. And again, it's amazing that a song like this is only 16th in my ranking, and that shows you how good the year is. In 15th position, I mean, what can I do? I said in my last ranking video that every fiber of my being wants to not like this song, because this style of music is popular in Germany for reasons that I don't know. And I never liked a song like this, but I find myself having Euro Papa stuck in my head every day. There's a moment where I have this song stuck in my head. I now added it to my playlist, which I never thought would happen when I first heard it. And this is the first song in this kind of genre that is on my playlist. And it is a great song to work out to. And the fact that I love it so much because of the music, but there's also lyrics that have a deep meaning about his father, about the reunification of Europe and all the rights we have in Europe, free travel and so on, is amazing to me, and I love that. And to have a song that is such a fun song combined with these really meaningful lyrics makes it special to me. I think in the lyrics, these references to cuisine of different countries could have been more poetic, but I mean, a song like this doesn't have to be poetic. And the music video also is fun. I cannot wait to see what he brings to the Eurovision stage. And I think that this entry might actually go up and up and up the more I listen to it and the more I see him perform as well. I think that will be great. In 14th position, I have Tiadora with the song Ramonda going down 3 places. I still love this entry, but there's one more song coming up that does what this song does even better than Ramonda does. I love the lyrics of the song, the message of overcoming hardship, and a message for peace as well, because Ramonda is a flower that revives even after long periods of dryness if you give it a little bit of water, and then just rises up from the dead, basically. It's also a symbol of the armistice after World War I in Serbia. And I really like lyrics that are a bit deeper, as you know. I also think that she is a great vocal performer. It is a nice staging. And it just creates this atmosphere of coziness, of a bit mystical as well. And I really like that. I think having seen it again, I think they could change the outfit a little bit. But otherwise, this is a really good performance. And I mean, the symbolism of the Ramonda that grows at the back of the screen is also really cool. And I really like that. And again, I can't believe it's only my 14th place. In 13th place, I have Gorte with Ulveham going down 3 places. So you can kind of tell that there are 3 new entries above it. I love a lot about this entry. I thought it was extremely frantic, and I didn't quite get it when I first saw it, but it has grown on me a lot. I can now really appreciate her amazing vocal abilities singing this song the way it is. This is not a song I have on my playlist. This is not a song I listen to just while doing other things. This is a song I have to see performed, and then it really has an impact on me with the nature imagery as well. The ice melting, was kind of looking for the word there, and it's just frantic and just makes an impact on you. And then most people won't get this because the song is in Norwegian, which is another plus point for me, of course. But the lyrics of the song telling a 1,000-year-old ballad from the Middle Ages with a kind of bloody story is also kind of amazing for a Eurovision entry. And so I really, really like this as well. In 12th place, I have Sylvester Belt and Luke Tell, also going down only 3 places, but I've kind of grown off the song a little bit. I still like it. I still think it's catchy. I still think it has its own cool vibe about it. Baltic pop at its best in a way. It has an amazing staging already. They can kind of go to Eurovision with that. It's very impactful. His visual style and everything is also impactful and memorable, and I like that a lot. The song is just kind of a little bit repetitive, and I have kind of grown tired of it a teeny tiny bit, but it's still in 12th position, so that tells you how much I still like it. And again, I love that this is in Lithuanian. In 11th place, I have Tali and Fighter going down 3 positions. There is going to be a revamp, apparently, that has not been revealed yet. I don't think the song itself needs a revamp. I love the many different hooks you have, but it kind of works as a song. I like the orchestra effect. I don't know how you call that, like the door closing effect. If someone can tell me how the real name for that is, please do, because I might talk about the song again this season. She has said in an interview that the staging and the performance and the outfit will be different. There will be dancers, but it will be a whole different vibe. And that is my main criticism of this entry, was the staging, which was too dark for me and just not summery enough, because the song has a summery feel. And I think if they change it, I might like it even more. But this is a song that I like to listen to. It gives me a summery vibe, a happy vibe. And I also like that it's partly in French, and it seems very French to me. Some people had commented under the other ranking video that it's not French at all, but to me personally, subjectively, it seems French. Now we get into my top 10 and we have a new entry, which is La Daniva with Yako, national language, national instruments. I mean, this is just my kind of song, my kind of thing. I think she is incredibly charismatic. He is as well. I think they're an interesting couple. I don't know whether they're a couple, like a duo on that stage, and they will really entertain us. I'm quite sure. The song is great. I love it. It's catchy. The lyrics are kind of self-empowering, I think, if I understood them correctly, and I like that as well. The only thing I would need to have this even higher in my ranking is a little bit less repetitiveness because it does go through the motions quite a lot. But still, I do love this entry quite a bit. In ninth place, I have 5 Minutes and Pulup. And this is one of these songs where a few years ago I would have told you you're crazy if you told me that this would be in my top 10 one day. And even when I did my ranking of the Esti Lau songs, this was in my bottom 5, I think. But then it kind of clicked. I saw the performance. I love the tension between the crazy performance and this fun entry, and they are in suits. I hope they keep that. It's really good. It's a bit like Lithuania in 2006, We Are the Winners, which kind of had a similar vibe when it comes to outfit and song. But this song is also musically very good, I think. It has a folk element to it, a bit of country to it, and it is just incredibly catchy. I have this part, I can't really sing it, stuck in my head all the time, and I love listening to it. And so that's why it's my number 9 in this ranking. In 8th place, going down 4 positions, and I'm sorry, lo siento un poco. I mean, I still love it. It's my 8th place, is Nebulosa and Sora. Still love the tongue-in-cheek lyrics, the message that it sends. I love the interjections of the Sora that makes it very catchy. And I also saw a video in Spanish of someone explaining that she doesn't really do a lot with her voice. It's kind of monotone the way she sings, but that kind of shows you how good the music is that is under it. I said at one point, I think that the composition is kind of simple, but still good. But this guy kind of explained why musically it's really intricate and really well done. And the fact that this kind of monotone voice doesn't really matter in the song shows how good it is. And that kind of made me appreciate the song even more. I do love her. I love that she's a woman that is not 25 anymore, and she's on that stage and she's just a diva. And I mean, I love that part of it as well. The whole distance that you feel when you see her perform, just incredible. I really like it. In 7th place, I have Musti, Before the Party is Over. I mean, the way he performs this, his vocal performance, all the emotion and the intensity he puts into this song are just mind-blowing to me. I love listening to this song. And again, it's amazing that this is only my number 7. It is so good. There is a sadness in the way he sings it, but also a power in the way he sings it. I love the way it builds toward the climax. And it takes its time, which makes this stand out and makes this a very artsy proposition, I think. But the fact that it takes its time to build towards the climax also means that the climax is so much more impactful and really gives me goosebumps almost every time I hear it. And great performer as well. When we see the music video, it seems like he knows what he's doing. And I cannot wait to see this performed on the Eurovision stage. And if it's amazing as I think it is, it might actually go up even more in my ranking. Now, in 6th place, I have a new entry, and that is Marina Sati with Sari. I mean, I understand why a lot of people say that this is too chaotic for them, that they think it's disjointed and they don't like it. And that could have happened to me, but that's just what art is. Sometimes it clicks and sometimes it doesn't. So why does this click for me? This is just the kind of song that you don't hear outside of Eurovision, and that's the song that I really love to listen to, kind of. I love that it combines this reggaeton beat with the Greek language. I think adds a different layer to the song and a feeling to any song, really, and also to this one. I like the tongue-in-cheek music video as well. I love the fact that it combines the reggaeton beat also with the zurna, this traditional Greek instrument. Some Greek people have said that it doesn't really sound like a typical Greek song, but anyway, I do love the elements that it has that are very Greek. And this is just a kind of song that I really like. I listen to it a lot and have just kind of fallen in love with it. And I also think that she is such an interesting artist. She has control over everything that is being done. I hope she has control over the staging. I heard some rumors that it will be a single camera shot and her moving around the stage. And I think that might be very effective, a bit like in Mantisa, the music video of her first single. And she's very charismatic. She can really sell the song, I think. And what's not to like? Now we get into the top 5. And in 5th position, going down 2 places, I have Baby Lasagne, Rimtim, Tagidim. I've kind of talked about the song a lot, so I'm going to be a bit shorter. I think that this is an amazing song because the lyrics have such an amazing meaning about someone leaving his village, going somewhere to a big city or somewhere else, having one last big party. And that's what the song is about. The Rimtim Tagidim is kind of referencing traditional dances in Croatia, especially. And that just makes this seem wholesome in a way. And I mean, add to that this really fun song, the beat, the Rimtim Tagidim that stays in your head and makes you want to dance and move your body. And this really infectious beat also that the song has, it's just a great combination. He is a humble, great guy. I also love the story of he wasn't even invited to be in the national final, then someone dropped out and he was on the wait list. And now he's the favorite to win Eurovision. I mean, that's an amazing story as well. I love the way he performs, the energy he puts into it. I've talked about the fact that he needs to improve the vocals. They should change the staging a bit, I think. But still, this is an entry I love to listen to, and I do quite a lot. And that's why it's in number 5. And that's why it's my 5th position. In 4th position, going up 1 place, and that's not an easy feat with all of the new entries we have seen, is Nemo with The Code. Now, this is a song that I can't quite explain it, but every time I hear it, I like it a little bit more because it is not generic at all. There's something new to notice and to find out about every single time you listen to the song. And that is a great feat. I think I have compared it to Bohemian Rhapsody. Probably some Queen fans will kill me for that. But I do think it feels a bit like that, this operatic part, and there's the rap part. The vocal performance is just incredible, and I've seen videos of them doing it, and it seems like they will actually be able to replicate all of these vocals live on that stage, and that will really be a moment to watch. I can't wait how they will stage this song as well. And I mean, just great. Just a great entry, and I think this might actually grow on me even more. Now we're getting to the top 3, including number 4. This was the hardest thing to do, ranking these first 4 songs, because I love every single one of them and I love listening to them. And it kind of is a day-to-day thing, which one is my favorite, but I've kind of done what I have said I would do. And this is my current standings at the moment. In 3rd position, I have Mon Amour by Slimane, going down 1 place. I mean, I've been a Slimane fan for a very long time, so maybe I'm a little bit biased towards him. I have always loved his voice, and I do think that he has better songs than Mon Amour, actually, but the vocal performance in this song is the best he has ever done, I think. There are layers and emotions in this vocal performance that are just incredible every single time I listen to it. There's a different small thing that I noticed that makes it even better. And the Dora performance where he stands 2 meters away from the mic and you still hear the vocals. If they do replicate that on stage, it will be a goosebump moment. Every time I see it, I have goosebumps. And the song itself, I do realize that some people say that it's a bit generic and a typical ballad, and kind of that's true, but the fact that he puts so much emotion in it and it's such an over-the-top emotional performance kind of elevates this for me to my 3rd position. And yeah, merci for this amazing entry. And now I can say for the 2nd place, Obrigado Portugal for Yolanda and Grito. This is a new entry. I kind of thought that this might be my number one, and it is the song I have listened to the most this week. I checked that, but my number one is still my number one. However, this is a song that I will not grow tired of ever. I think this is really a masterpiece, and I don't say that lightly. The lyrics have so many layers. I did an interpretation of them in my rating video for the song, and a lot of Portuguese have said that it's very good. But then some people also added their own interpretation, and there seems to be many layers to this song and to the performance as well. I thought the dancers were demons. Some other people say they are her feelings. And if you know me, you know that I love a song that has many different possible interpretations. Musically, this is not your standard ballad because it is kind of like a lullaby the way it is done musically. The strings, I love. The chant, I love. The chanting parts, I love a lot. And the fact that it builds throughout the song to the grito, the word grito doesn't actually appear, which means scream, sorry, doesn't actually appear in the lyrics, but is the main focus of the song. And she has performed this grito amazingly every single time. You really feel the pain, the emotion, and everything. And she is just such an incredible performer. You can kind of see it in the image there with her facial expressions and everything she does. She's a real artist, and this is why Portugal is one of my favorite countries in Eurovision every single year. I probably could talk about this entry for 4 more hours, but you don't want to listen to that. You want to know my number one, and that is La Noia. Angelina Mango hasn't changed from last time I did one of these videos. I mean, what can I say? I listen to this song a lot. This is also a song that has so many different musical elements in the instrumentation, in the way she sings. I watched the Peace Arounds video on this. If you don't know her yet, check her out. It's amazing how she talks about the music and the different layers of instrumentation and music that are in this song. And it is kind of a world song in that it combines so many different elements from different places. Spanish guitar, there's a bit of Balkan, a bit of Latin in there. And these are musical styles I love a lot, so it doesn't really surprise me that I really like this entry. The lyrics are quite deep, quite philosophical about you can't always feel good. You have to have moments of boredom and have to have moments where you don't feel perfect, and they kind of prepare you for the good that's about to come. It references the death of her father when she was still a little girl. And so it's just a kind of package and entry that I personally really, really love. It's in Italian, which is my favorite language, I think, to listen to music in. And so what else? Oh, the performance. I mean, this is another aspect that is so incredible. The way she performs this just nonchalantly, as if she's walking on that stage and they tell you, yeah, sing this song. And then, okay. And she kind of goes with the rhythm of the song. And this is the kind of song that you can do this with. And that's why it's a genius song for me. And she's kind of uninhibited, really has a lot of spunk in that performance. I also love the tension you have between her facial expression, which kind of is the noia, the boredom you can see in there. And then her movements and the song itself are really upbeat and up-tempo. Again, I could talk about this for hours, but I won't. And this is my number one. And this is my entire top 37 of Eurovision. Again, please comment if a song is lower in my ranking that you love. Tell me why you love it, and then maybe I will listen to it, having read your comment, and I will see something that I haven't seen before. That is why I love Eurovision. Do subscribe to this channel. I will do predictions, lots of fun stuff. I have a fun video. Don't forget to vote in the Eurovision Knockout as well. So lots of fun things happening, and I can't wait to spend the rest of this season with you guys. So thank you so much, and I'll see you maybe for my next video if you want to. Bye-bye.